Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the Extreme Z Awakening for the Gohan Kid / Goku Exchange free-to-play unit. So these guys look pretty solid. Obviously after their Extreme Z Awakening, or after his or their, or whichever way you want to put it, they are a bond of parent and child category lead of key +3, HP attack and defense is 77%. Now that's not so important because obviously we don't really have that category on global yet. It is out on JP, but it's not out on global yet. But the main thing is the rest of their kit. They raise defense for 1 turn and seal super attack, which is pretty good. You have attack and defense of 150% with an additional attack and defense of 30% and a great chance, which is 70%, of evading the enemy's attack for 5 turns from the start of turn, which is pretty good. Then from the 6th turn onwards you will have a high chance, which is still 50%, which is still actually pretty good. You will then have an additional attack and defense of 50% starting from the turn in which the character evades the 3rd attack in battle. The target enemy's attack will decrease by 25% for 3 turns after the character evades the 6th attack in battle. So something that's pretty interesting with these guys is you can actually have both passive or both boosts running consecutively. So if you evade 3 attacks but it's still within the first 3 turns, you will have the additional attack and defense of 50% and the 30% attack and defense from the 3 turn buff, which is pretty good. Considering they have a 70% evasion chance, that's really quite solid. You can exchange with another character with the Goku when HP is 59% or less starting from the 5th turn, or when you have evaded 6 or more attacks. In terms of link skill, you have the Saiyan lineage, all in the family, Saiyan warrior race, infighter, gaze of respect, solid support and shatting the limit. And in terms of category, you're on hybrid Saiyans, movie heroes, Goku's family, youth, bond of master and disciple, powerful comeback, bond of friendship, bond of parent and child. When you exchange to Goku, you will recover 30% HP, and you will have attack and defense of 100%. You will gain an additional attack and defense of, not of 100, but you will recover 50% HP. I was reading the wrong passive. Attack and defense of 180%. Guard all attacks when HP is 77% or more. You will stun the attacked enemy for 1 turn, and you will have an additional attack and defense of 59% for 5 turns after receiving an attack. You will launch an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack when there is a terrifying conqueror's enemy. You'll also raise attack and defense for 1 turn on the super attack. Now, the interesting thing, obviously when you exchange to Goku, or the good thing I think, is the heal, and the guard mechanic is pretty good. Obviously the health threshold for the guard mechanic is pretty high, it's 77%, so that does mean that in certain difficult content, yes, we're talking red zone, we're talking cell max, when you are below that threshold, this Goku is actually going to be effectively worse than the Gohan, because of the fact that his defense doesn't necessarily get that much higher than when he's in the Gohan Kid phase. So here we can see 118,000 defense, really not too bad. We do have 20% support on the rotation, we do have all in the family active as well. We do have one of our better linking partners coming up in the next rotation, so we'll take a look there. We are not operating under a 200% lead, so there is still room to grow, and we'll talk about that just now. But so far, all looking okay. The evasion will kick in, so that's 2 evasions. We didn't get a 3rd unfortunately, but 1.8 million. And then we should be able to get, nope, we don't get our 3rd evasion. So that's a little bit unlucky. It means we're going to have to push on a little bit with the event, try and get another turnout. But basically, if you look at the cumulative boosts, so in the Gohan form, he has attack and defense of 150% with an additional 30% and the possibility of another attack and defense of 50%, which means at most you can have, well, it's not how it works exactly, but 230% total attack and defense. Goku starts with attack and defense of 180%, and you'll gain attack and defense of 59% for 5 turns after receiving an attack. Now Goku's cumulative boost, remember things are multiplicative with how they work, but essentially Goku's will be slightly higher than Gohan's in terms of raw defense. So we can take the raw defense, the highest raw defense we see from Gohan, and what we can do is we can apply that to Goku and raise it a little bit, is what I'm saying. So for example, if Gohan has 180,000 defense, which could happen after the next turn, then obviously we need to factor in that Goku's will be a little bit higher. Here we do have obviously our best linking partner on rotation, or one of them, 5 links with this free-to-play Goku, which is pretty good. All in the Family is a major link here, so units that have that are going to be good linking partners for this Goku Gohan. Now overall, I think they're definitely not a main unit, although they can see some pretty good usage. We're going to get the evasion, hopefully, still not, which is very, very unlucky. But 1.7 million again, no third evasion, and we of course get it after the attack. No third evasion, so no additional attack and defense there, but again we can still see some pretty decent utility. As always with evasion units, you could see them evade 1,000 attacks in one turn, and you could see them evade no attacks in one turn. Generally 70% is definitely on the side of what I would say is reliable. Obviously on a pure maths basis means that you're going to dodge 7 out of 10 attacks, which generally speaking is quite reliable. You can obviously bank on it, but for the most part it means that I would say it's an active constitute in their defense, which is obviously very, very good. So yeah, generally speaking, it's a pretty solid maneuver to go with it. Now of course, in terms of like everything else, I think there are a couple important things to take note, and we'll discuss that after we take a look at the raw stats of Gohan in this turn. So this is Gohan. He does not have his 3-turn 30% boost anymore, and he's sitting at 193,000, which is pretty good. We do obviously have 50% support on this rotation as well, so we do need to keep that in mind. But that means that you could run a similar rotation with Goku, and you'll probably end up sitting in the 220,000 mark before Goku takes the super attack, or as long as Goku gets hit and activates his full passive, which is pretty decent if you're above the 77% threshold, because you will have guard, you will have the capability for Goku to fire additional super attacks. It could be very solid. I'm not saying it's going to blow anyone's mind, but I think, it could definitely be an interesting unit to kind of fill out on the team. When you take a look at the overall capabilities of the unit, it is a pretty decent unit. Ceiling is nice for SBR and ESBR, also for early phases of Red Zone. The heal is very good. I love the heal. 50% heal is always something that's very good, especially on Goku's family teams, powerful comeback teams. Barring revives, there's not a lot of natural healing, so having a 50% revive or a 50% heal that you can activate at any point of your choosing is something that's very, very good. Here you're going to see I obviously get Goku to transform. You can see he has 125,000 defense. Remember, when he gets hit, he's going to activate an additional 59%, which is going to be pretty good. We do have 50% support on this rotation, so it is somewhat comparable to the Gohan turn. And we're going to see just how much Goku outputs in terms of attack, and we should see a pretty decent showing. Goku's also going to have his attack boost for this attack, so we should see a pretty solid showing. Now, you're going to have to look at the number at the bottom here, because obviously we got a Dokkan attack, but 2.7 million is very, very good, especially considering the fact that we do not have any attack support on the rotation. Remember, Gohan is a 50% defensive support, but he only gives an attack support to entrusted will category units, which Goku is not on. So, pretty solid. 2.7 million, very, very nice. We do have our major links kind of active there, or at least our major attack links, but we did not have all in the family active. So in terms of defense, Goku could be quite a bit higher. All in the family is a very strong defensive link, and I think overall we're looking at a pretty impressive showing in terms of this unit. I think they're very, very solid. And you can see much, much better than this. If you give Goku that All in the Family link, if we'd shifted him to the mid slot, which we could not, unfortunately, obviously because of the Dokkan attack. But if we shift him to the mid slot there, he would have got All in the Family from Strength Gohan. You would have seen his defense raise even higher. You would have seen him take an attack and see that go higher. So I think, overall this defense is very solid. The only thing that's kind of conjecture about Goku or debatable is that guard capability. 77% is very high. It is not very often you are going to leave a turn in red zone or in like Cell Max or anything like that where you have like 77% health. It's very unlikely. However, it doesn't mean it's impossible, and the heal that he has is still very good, because you will activate the heal to exchange into him and he will still have the guard. So at least for that one turn, Goku will still look very, very solid. And 50% health heal is very good. To then have potentially a floating unit that has guard and has over 250,000 defense is also very, very solid. So Goku can definitely do a job, as can Gohan. I think they both are exceptional units. I think the exchange mechanic is good. I think the heal is good. I think the high levels of evasion on Gohan will make him useful in a ton of stages. I think the Goku, the heal that he brings, will make him useful. The fact that he's good against Terrifying Conquerors enemies does help him out. It could make him a very interesting choice for red zone stages, for fighting spirit events, for any future Frieza or type LGE, LVE, etc. events. I think overall he's a pretty good unit, and it makes him good against a large portion of the game. I think this is a very, very, very top unit. Now obviously link-wise there's a lot of units that they can link to, but generally speaking a couple links do change. Obviously when Gohan is out, in terms of links you have Gaze of Respect and Solid Support, whereas when you switch to Goku those switch out and you get Prepared for Battle and Shocking Speed. Generally, I would say focus on links that share between the two of them if you're looking for linking partners or just what they can do in general. So All in the Family, same warrior race, same lineage, sharing the limit, fairly strong link sets, not discounting the ones that move. Infighter is maybe a little bit weak, which obviously is more a joint forces thing. And then obviously, Gaze of Respect is okay, Solid Support is okay, but generally you're not going to get those active even on a Goku's family team. But what you will get is you are going to get the Prepared for Battle pretty easily. So when you switch to Goku, you will get Prepared for Battle pretty easy. Shocking Speed also helps him out, makes him a pretty interesting pairing partner for some of the Goku Vegeta combo cards. And yeah, just generally does give him some decent options. But All in the Family is the main one. If you can activate that, you can really boost his defense. And there are a couple units that want that All in the Family, so it's not entirely impossible. But yeah, overall, I think they look very, very good. I like how they look. I like how they did. I think attack stats look good. Defense stats look good. Utility is great. And yeah, I think overall they are a really top unit. 50% heal, awesome. Great evasion, medium evasion, ceiling. Additional super attacks when facing Terrifying Conquerors. Just overall, awesome stuff. But yeah, that's it from me. Bye.